Hello and welcome to the Other Kind of Doctor podcast. My name is Gemma.
And my name is Gaia, and we are both on the journey of gaining a PhD.
A quick disclaimer before we start. We are in fact the academic kind of doctors.
Well, nearly doctors.
Yes, nearly doctors. But we're not your medical kind of doctors.
So if you do need medical attention, please contact your GP.
Now, let's get on with the episode.
Hello!
Hello.
That was not Gemma.
No, it's not Gemma.
Who is it?
It's Ryan.
Again.
Yeah.
So Ryan's here again because Gemma had to watch her dogs, which is a good excuse.
Well, it's a good excuse.
And last 2 weeks ago I was dead, so Ryan was here. So basically he's becoming the new host.
No, I'm not.
You have such a soothing voice, it's like ASMR.
Oh, you make me blush. I have to look away.
Ryan is very cute for everyone listening at home. He's adorable.
No.
So, what did you do this week, Ryan?
This week I have been working on getting one piece of hardware to talk to another piece, and I've had some success today.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Ryan works in that big square that's in the parking lot, in case you're a Royal Holloway.
Yeah, the big cube next to the car park.
Mm-hmm. Ugly,
That's my office.
but useful.
Yeah.
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 I went back home last week
Lovely.
and played with my 5 to 10 cats.
What is it, 5 or 10?
It's 5, but sometimes new cats just arrive and you can't just turn them down.
A cat picnic.
Yeah, one of them gained 2 kilograms since I last saw him.
It's impressive.
Yeah. I couldn't hold him like a baby anymore. My
No.
back hurt.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ryan is not just here to host, he's here as a guest as well. Woohoo!
Yay.
He's very nervous.
This is a bad idea, guy.
No. You're gonna be great.
Okay.
Everyone cheer for Ryan.
Wait, do I have to ask myself questions?
No, I'm gonna ask you questions, right?
Okay.
So, this week we're gonna talk about changing academic field, because Ryan, you studied history in undergrad and then now you're doing a PhD in psychology.
That's true. I did.
Well, who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, so you know imposter no. Yeah. Yeah. So I suppose, yeah, some people change kind of academic paths, don't they? At some point they go, ooh, I'm going to go down this route. I just ran away from academia after my undergrad. Yeah. I did history at UCL and it was a lot of fun and I learned a lot.
You look like you'll do history.
Yeah, I did. Lots of very clever people on the course. I learned a lot from them. And then I was, as you do, decided I wasn't going to do history anymore. And, well, for the next 6 years, I did lots of things.
Oh,
Yeah.
What did you do? I know this, but I want the people to know.
So many things. Obviously, I had to pay my rent, so I had multiple jobs, not at the same time, sometimes at the same time, which ranged from working in Muji on Tottenham Court Road.
Nice.
Yeah, selling clothes. And what else did I do? Worked in cafes. I worked as a hairdresser for a bit.
What? I didn't know this.
You didn't know this?
Did you cut hair?
Well, I didn't get that far.
You washed hair.
I washed hair, massage, wash hair, condition,
Oh, that's my favorite part.
colouring, a bit of colouring.
Really?
Yeah, I did highlights. And I did cut my brother's hair.
Multi-talented.
I started to cut hair just towards the end, and then I got offered to go back and work in a bookshop in called Masalit in Hungary. I worked there for a few months before, and they needed someone to look after the place. So I went back to work in this bookshop, and then I fell madly in love and got married. And then, yeah, that's the story of my life. And then I decided to do psychology. Yes. Try and follow that.
I haven't done any of that.
Try that crazy route that I've taken.
So why did you want to change field?
I suppose it was a kind of personal project I was working on, And it was some research, and I realised that my kind of humanities background just wasn't quite, cutting it when it came to the kind of research I wanted to do. It was a lot more about kind of human behaviour in the now and today. I wanted to know a bit more about the brain, about cognitive psychology. So I decided, a master's, and that would be the right thing for me. Obviously, my partner Nikki helped me think about it as well, gave me
We
some
love Nikki.
good advice. So, yeah.
So when you chose your undergrad, were you 18?
Well, 17, I suppose.
Yeah, I was talking earlier today with Gemma, and we're like, it's insane that people have to choose what they're gonna do in their life at 17.
Oh, it's difficult. I did biology at A level, and history, and what was the other one? English literature.
Of course you did.
And so I was very into science and also into the humanities. So it just was history won the day because there's no maths in history. And at the time, I was a bit of afraid of maths. I've kind of overcome that fear through the masters. Actually helped me overcome that fear. Oh yeah, I came out of it and I started teaching statistics.
I teach statistics and I'm still scared.
I know, I'm still a little bit scared of maths. But I think it's good to be afraid of something a little bit because it makes you think harder about it.
See, I almost did physics. This was before I realised I can't do math. So I can understand the not knowing what you want to do when you're 17. The thing is, I wanted to do too many things.
Yeah. I loved stories, and I love history for the stories. And also it's human behaviour, just dead people.
Very true.
And so there are links there. And I also kind of wanted to go to London, escape the countryside. So, you have lots of different reasons, I think, for choosing your course when you're a teenager.
So true. I came to Royal Holloway because you looked like a castle.
There you go.
So you went from a very humanities subject
Yes,
to a scientific subject.
I did.
How did you go about it?
I think because I'd done biology at A level, I was in a better position to do that than some people might have been. I think if you'd done nothing but humanities and then tried to do a master's in psychology, it would have been a bit harder. Actually, I did a conversion course because they weren't quite convinced they looked at me and were like, well, yeah, you did biology a long time ago, mate, so maybe you should do a conversion. So I did a year conversion, and some of the people in my course were from completely, humanities backgrounds, business backgrounds, and they found it really hard. Yeah, I think just the kind of massive shift in language that you use. I think it's like learning a new language in terms of its terminology. So I knew a bit about cells, I knew a bit about neurons, I knew a bit about these kind of things and how they work. I remembered all of that from A level, where for someone who'd only done humanities, that's fresh and that's scary.
Oh, that does sound scary.
Yeah, on top of all the maths that you had to do, doing stats by hand, and then
You did stats by hand?
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah. Oh, for the conversion course, yeah. You had to do an exam by hand.
Really?
Actually, they made you do an SPSS test live, like an exam, an SPSS
Oh my
exam.
God.
Yeah, that was terrible because I was like, having to concentrate really hard on the numbers on the screen and, in a 3-hour exam.
Did you do 1 + 1 on the calculator just to be sure?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that every time.
Every single tiny piece of maths
Yeah.
on a calculator.
So how come you went directly to a master's instead of redoing an undergrad?
Because I think I had the option. I think it would have been... I was doing it part-time in the evening at Birkbeck, which is wonderful, by the way. If anyone needs to do a master's in the evenings, and it's a good place to go. I was working full-time at the same time. So after work, got on the bus, went to school, I did the lectures.
Went to school.
Yeah, I went to school. And so that's why I did the masters. I think an undergrad would have been too intense, and then after that doing a masters and then doing a PhD. So
That would have been...
it would have been long. Yeah, it was already long. It was 4 years.
Did you knew you wanted to do a PhD?
I knew I wanted to go into research.
Okay, makes sense.
So PhD was on the horizon. Yeah.
So you knew what a PhD was? See, I didn't know. I was just like...
I had friends from my previous courses who did like history and literature PhDs. Yeah.
Right.
Clever people.
So you talked about this a little bit,
Mhm.
but how was it going from 3 years of pure humanities to BAM experiments?
Well, it was 3 years of humanities, 6 years of
Bunch of things.
including writing quite a bit of fiction and non-fiction for myself and research
What?
and stuff. I didn't.
I'm discovering so many things.
Just, stuff, music. I made a bit of music, a bit of drama.
Did you publish fan fictions?
No, I didn't publish
Oh.
fan fictions. I should have done.
You really should.
I think I missed a chance there.
You still can.
So it was lots of different things. So I suppose doing experiments was just another different thing that was exciting. I was really up for it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was.
When I was for some reason, I just thought about this. When I was little, I did experiments,
Hmm.
which were, so my mom gave me a microscope for Christmas, even though I wanted one of those talking dogs. But I would squish bugs
No.
between the two glasses and look at them.
Did you squish them before they died? Did you kill them in the squishing?
Yeah.
So you kind of watched them die under the microscope.
Well, they died immediately. Come on.
Wow.
But
That's dark. That is really.
yeah, I could have gone the serial killer route, but I just went the forensic psychology route.
I suppose, using your powers for good.
Yeah. I don't squish bugs anymore. They gross me out.
Yeah.
Anyways. So this was going from humanities to science.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you think the opposite will be? Because I think
Hmm.
lots of people think sciences are harder, but I feel like humanities.
That's a good question. I think that the style of writing might be something you'd have to kind of get used to. Yeah. Writing history essays and stuff is quite different from writing lab reports and reviews.
I don't think I'd do very well.
It's quite, I mean, you think that doing a science PhD is lonely, and I was sitting in a big warehouse for like 6 hours today all on my own.
Yeah.
But I had a robot with me, where in history, there's no robots to keep you company. It was just my books.
There are like ghosts of old people keeping me company.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. I think that's like a robot.
You do end up keeping yourself company with the books, yeah. I think talking to yourself is definitely a
See,
pastime.
I feel like lots of people think sciences are harder, but then I see my friends who are doing like literature, not even English, Italian literature, and I'm like, I could not do that.
There is a lot of free space to get lost
Yeah,
in that world.
not good for me. So you said you wanted to leave academia.
I did, yeah.
So you fully thought you wanted to leave for like 6 years.
I full on had no idea what I was doing for 6 years, but I definitely didn't want to do history academia after leaving UCL. But based on how it felt, I think, to be an academic,
Yeah, it just wasn't your thing.
it just
it's
wasn't
fine.
my thing. No, I really admired the academics in the department, some of them obviously more than others, as you do. But I couldn't see, I think I didn't really see a place for myself there. There was no one encouraging me to be a history academic. Maybe because they didn't think it was right for me. Maybe because they didn't want, I don't know. I suppose, actually, that's a good question. So there are kind of other like TA positions and things in the sciences and research assistants in the sciences,
Yeah.
which are obviously don't really exist for history. So it's quite hard.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so it's quite hard to get in. You can do kind of, I think there are ways, but it's very much kind of not many entry level stuff going on. And it's not kind of that kind of feeling of, I think it feels like you have to do a PhD and then you go on to lecture kind of thing.
That's so true. I never thought of that. For those who don't know, Ryan actually started here as a TA, so teaching associate,
Yes, I did.
and now he's doing a PhD.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, and I think, you've done research assistant roles, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Gemma's done research assistant roles. And so it gives you a feeling of what the science
That's so
academic
true,
world
actually.
is like, and
It gives you confidence as well.
gives you confidence that you have a place there.
Yeah, you don't just go straight into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So then how did you know the difference between wanting to leave academia
Hmm.
and then wanting to just change subject?
Well, I At the time, I definitely didn't think of doing a master's or a PhD, and doing another course was not financially viable. So no one in my family had done a degree before. No one had done a PhD. At that point, I didn't know what a PhD really was.
No one knows.
No, I didn't know what doing a master's would have meant. It was only, I think, I met friends later on who were doing kind of literature PhDs. And I was like, oh wow, that's kind of brave. And they're now teaching literature. So, but no, I really didn't think about changing course. I just thought about finding something that worked for me. And that was trying lots of different things, which I think is healthy, maybe.
Yeah, you did so many things.
Yeah.
So much life experience.
Yeah, I met lots of lovely people.
Ryan is very wise.
I don't know about that.
Not just because he's old. He's not old.
I'm quite old.
He's 30-something. It's fine.
I'm 34.
Yeah, that's young. I just realized, what type of masters did you do? Like psychology what?
Oh no, it was just pure psychology.
I didn't know there was a thing.
It is, yeah.
Huh. What did they teach you?
A bit of everything, yeah. Well, I suppose, I focused on cognitive psych for my thesis, for my dissertation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I did like voluntary stuff in a lab, so, yeah.
You're working in a lab now, so...
I am, yeah.
Turned out very well.
It's good, yeah. Life is good.
And now you have robots as friends. And you work in a building with cats in it.
I do, yeah.
Shout out to TP and Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger doesn't really belong in the Bedford building.
It's just outside, so it's like kind of... He's there.
He's definitely, trying to steal TP's turf.
I met him 2 days ago, he yelled at me, so now we're in a fight. But it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yes.
What are your top tips for people wanting to change academic field?
Top tips. I think that it is good to say that it's never too late to change, I think. If you get the sense that what you're doing doesn't feel right, take a breath, get a job that pays the rent for a bit and have a think. Yeah, give yourself some time to think about what really works for you.
That's a good one. I was thinking today, if I had done 3 years of psychology and then figured out I wanted to do something else, I would have just died. Because I would have been like, I spent so long on this. But clearly you can. And Ryan is doing very well.
You can, yeah. You can. You can change all the time.
And wash people's hair and work in a bookshop and find the love of your life.
Yeah, finding the love of my life was definitely a goal, I think. Yeah.
It's so cute. So
I looked far and wide,
And she was just there.
She was.
So where can people find you?
Oh, I'm on what do we call it now? X? Twitter,
X, whatever.
I'm on Twitter. Ryan Jefferies is my name.
It's Ryan N. Jefferies. What does N stand for?
Ah, that's a good question. So my mum gave me the middle name Nelson after Nelson Mandela. Yeah.
Ryan Nelson Jefferies.
Nelson is my middle name, yeah.
Oh, that's very cute. So find Ryan on X, Twitter, whatever, at Ryan N. Jefferies. And then you have an academic Instagram, right?
Yes, yeah, I do. I need to do some things with that. Maybe I'll do something with it today. I'll share a video of Gaia in the studio.
Please don't.
I will.
Just share a video of Cheeseburger meowing outside.
Okay.
Right.
You can find me. Just send me an email. That's what Pip said last week, and I like that. That's a nice...
An email?
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, send him an email.
Brain bites!
So this week...
Yes.
We're talking about, does having a creative hobby help you unwind?
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of crochet lately. Well, I'm always doing crochet, I just forget I know how to crochet and then I pick it up again and do nothing but crochet for like a month.
Crochet.
Are you doing anything creative?
Creative?
You skateboard?
I do. That's kind of creative.
Kind of creative.
I think
you have to do different things.
You have to do different things, yeah. It's quite creative with the environment. So, you're looking for places to do things, how to use the environment to the best effect. Yeah, skateboarding. research from Exeter University suggests that skateboarding is good for middle-aged people.
You're not middle-aged, right?
I'm getting the mid-age crisis. I'm getting it early. I'm cutting.
You never know when your middle age is.
Exactly. So, yeah, skateboarding's wonderful. If you like falling over a lot and then succeeding, it's a good.
Please wear a helmet, knee things. What are they called?
Pads.
Knee patches and elbow
patches.
patches.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them. Wear protection. All kinds of protection. When you skateboard, obviously. I did a kickflip though.
You did what?
A kickflip.
What's a kickflip?
It is a trick that I've been trying to do now. I started skateboarding, 2 years ago? And you only really get to skate when it's sunny, so it's not that
Sure.
many days. And I've been trying to do a kickflip for a while, maybe 2 months.
Huh?
And it's where you jump in the air and you make the skateboard thing rotate on this axis. So that's that's the lateral axis.
Sure.
You make it do 360. So it goes.
What? You can do that?
I can, yeah.
Do you think it improves your well-being?
I definitely think it improves my well-being. Every time I do it, I feel like I've just levitated to a higher kind of plane of existence.
Okay, that's not what crocheting makes me feel, but it makes me feel calmer. And we have research to back this up.
Yeah.
So, Julia Rosen stated that in 2016, Nature conducted a survey that stated that many early career researchers work more than 60 hours a week,
Wow.
which I can relate to.
60 hours.
Don't work in the weekends, please. But she said that getting involved in hobbies like cooking, crocheting, doing flips on your skateboard is beneficial for both your physical and mental health. So it can reduce blood pressure and increase a sense of belonging. And she gave some tips for starting a hobby, but we're not going to list them here. We're just going to leave them in the description below
That's lovely.
that Ryan will put in.
I will, yeah. I think that they're very good to do hobbies, yeah.
I've also been colouring a lot.
I like to read, yeah.
Is reading a creative hobby or is it just a hobby, do you think?
Well, yeah, creative hobby. I think it's probably just a hobby. Depends though. If you like to write fiction, then it's a bit of both.
That's true.
It's kind of like research for you.
Next brain bite. How does reading influence your mental health? So anyway,
Oh, that's a good idea.
subscribe and review our podcast, please. You can find us on social media at otherdoctor_pod and on our website at
theotherkindofdoctor.wordpress.com.
Thank you, Ryan. You can find the transcription on our podcast. And as always, thank you to the doctoral school and to our podcast team, including Ryan.
Thank you.
Bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye!